Okay, shellfish and sea stars. Mollusks. Everyone say mollusk.
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 All right. Many
Mollusks.
shells wash up along the ocean shores. Because of their soft colors and interesting shapes, seashells can be fun to collect. People have used shells to make jewelry and works of art. Indians use the white and purple parts of a certain type of clamshell for wampum, which is money. The shells were broken and filled into little beads, then strung onto threads or belts. Seashells are the houses of small invertebrates called mollusks. Because mollusks have soft bodies, they need their shells, exoskeletons, for protection. Mollusks that are used for food are often called shellfish. Everyone say univalve.
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 Such as cowries and conchs are mollusks with single shells. Cowries are smooth, glossy, and often speckled. They make beautiful jewelry. Many attractive conch shells are found in the West Indies and in some parts of the American South. They are often large shells with bumpy ridges and points. Have you ever held a conch shell to your ear in order to hear the ocean? What you actually heard was the pulsing of blood through your blood vessels. Have you ever done that? Have you ever taken a shell and put it to your ear to listen to the ocean? Yeah.
Yes.
But that's not true. If you put a cup, but if you put a cup, it sounds the same. Mister, you know that that's not true.
That's not true. It's
Put
your
a
blood vessels.
cup in your ear and it sounds.
Okay. Because of its shape, the shell caught the sound waves that echoed them back to your ear, so you're just hearing your own ear. Sea snails, such as the whelk, which you have learned about, come in a variety of colored shells prized by collectors. Bivalves have two matching shells joined by hinges. Each half of the shell looks like a little fan. Clams, oysters, and mussels are bivalves. When a bivalve is attacked, strong muscles snap its shell tight and hold it closed until the enemy goes away. Surrounding the bivalve's body is a mantle, the tissue which secretes the material that forms the shell. Most bivalves have no head. They have a hatchet-shaped foot. When they move about by pushing their foot out into the sand and pulling themselves forward. Bivalves eat plankton, which they take into their bodies through a tube called a siphon. Everyone say siphon.
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 They live on the ocean bottom. Oysters are valuable bivalves because some kinds can be eaten and other types produce pearls. A pearl is formed when a foreign object, such as a grain of sand, gets inside the oyster shell and irritates the oyster's soft body. So pearls, you know, the very beautiful white little balls that are in clams?
Yes.
They're so expensive, right? Very, very expensive. Yet they're just made from sand or dirt or something that hasn't been of importance. Just a grain of sand, something that irritated it and it turned into something beautiful. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. All right. The oyster secretes a material called nacre. Everyone say nacre.
Nacre.
Which builds up in smooth layers around the irritating object. Over a period of time, usually about 7 years, this process forms a pearl. Not all pearls are of good enough qualities to be sold, so not all of them are very nice. Clams and mussels are valuable for food. Most clams are relatively small. However, the giant clam can grow to be about 4 feet long and weigh 500 pounds. Clams, mussels, and oysters are also valued for the lining of their shells, which is called mother of pearl. This pearl lining is used to make buttons and jewelry. All right, next page. All right, crustaceans. Crustaceans are shrimp and lobster. Who likes to eat shrimp?
I know.
You don't like shrimp?
What?
You don't like to eat shrimp?
No, I don't like.
It's pretty good. Okay, crustaceans. That's what shrimps are. Another type of shellfish is the crustacean, or animal with a crust-like shell. Crustaceans such as shrimp, lobsters, and crabs are invertebrates that have segmented bodies with jointed legs and a hard outer skeleton or shell. To grow, crustaceans must shed their shells or molt. When the animal molts, its shell splits along a point of weakness, and the crustacean carefully backs out. A newly molted crustacean will often stretch itself by taking in large quantities of air or water, thus ensuring that its new shell is large and roomy when it hardens. Crabs caught after recent molting are called soft shell crabs. Who's ever eaten crabs?
I know.
I have. I'm not a huge fan of them. They're not that good to me, but I've eaten them.
I didn't grab them.
But the shrimp, I do like shrimp. The shrimp is a small crustacean with a thin shell. Shrimp live most often on the bottom of the continental shelf, where they scavenge for food. Some types swim in the open sea and eat plankton. Shrimp are a favorite food of many people. They're often caught by trawlers, fishing boats which scoop them from the bottom in large nets. Lobsters are carnivorous bottom dwellers that walk among the seafloor on their 8 legs, looking for fish or mollusks to eat. They live in holes or on the rocky bottom or in a coral reef. Have you guys ever had a lobster?
No, I have never had a
No.
lobster.
Never eaten lobster? Interesting.
No, I have never eaten lobster.
All right, American lobsters.
Yes.
The New England. Lizzie, you've eaten some?
Yes. I haven't lobster and crabs.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. All right.
You know, Rami, how to eat a crab.
How to eat a crab? Yeah, I have. I've had crab legs. Okay, American lobsters found along the New England coast have 2 large pincers, the 2 claws, used for crushing and tearing the shells of prey as well as for protecting themselves. Fishermen capture the lobsters and metal and wooden traps. There are more than 4,600 kinds of crabs. Crabs have flattened, elongated bodies with 8 legs and 2 pincers. They are extremely widespread. Some live on the deep sea bottom, whereas others burrow into a sandy beach. Crabs can run very quickly sideways to escape from an attacker. Now we have sea stars. These are beautiful. Spiny skin invertebrates whose bodies are made of a central disc with 5 or more rays or arms. Their arms are called rays. Projecting like spokes on a wheel are sea stars or starfish. A sea star can have as many as 50 rays, but those with more than 5 rays are usually referred to as a sun star. There are 2 rows of tiny tube feet on the underside of each ray. Suction discs on the ends of the tube feet help the starfish to move and to feed. Some stars are able to regenerate or regrow new rays when old ones are broken off. Sea stars attacking and feed. I'm sorry. Yes.
I have a question that I already read here. Then there is a question that say, why will it be hard to kill a sea star? And here it doesn't say no.
It's because sea stars are able to regenerate. So if you cut it in half, it'll just grow. That's why it's hard to kill them, because they can grow more legs, more arms.
So the answer is because they can grow.
Because they can grow or regrow. They can regenerate.
We're gonna do that. All that.
Yeah. You don't have a project though for this. I'm gonna send you a video for you guys to watch. That's all you have to do is just watch the video.
But we need to do it obviously.
Mister, we need to do comprehension check 5-4.
Yes. Okay, let's finish this chapter. Sea stars attack and feed on mollusks. Using its tube feet, a starfish with long rays can grasp a bivalve and pull hard on the 2 shells. It can continue pulling until the muscles which hold the bivalve shell together tire and weaken, allowing the shell to open. Then the sea star pushes its stomach inside the shell. to digest the bivalve's soft body. Sea stars with very short rays allow the prey, swallow their prey whole. I'm sorry. When they have short arms, they swallow their prey whole and spit out the shells afterwards. Sea stars are interesting. All right, let's go to 5.5. Now we're going to talk about the coral reef. And this is a video I'm going to send you guys about the coral reef, which you guys are going to watch. And you don't have to answer questions. You're just going to watch the video and enjoy it because I think it's really cool. Sound good?
What, mister?
I'm going to send you a video on the coral reef. And all you have to do is watch it. You don't have to answer questions. I'm just going to let you watch it and enjoy the coral reef because I think it's cool.
Thank you, Mister.
So
I like the corals.
Comprehension
Is there-
check 5.
Thank you, Mister.
Mister.
Still have to do the comprehension checks.
So
Thank
what
you,
we-
mister.
what we don't not need to do.
You're welcome. Okay, beauties of the coral reef. See if we can finish.
No, mister, I don't understand what we don't need to do.
We have extra time. Maybe we can look up some cool pictures. Coral reefs, the beautiful gardens of the sea, are formed from the hard outer covering of many thousands of tiny animals known as coral polyps. We're going to learn about coral polyps in the video as well. The brightly tinted reefs are found only in sunlit waters warmer than 65 degrees Fahrenheit in the continental United States. The only coral reefs are found off the southern coast of Florida in the Florida Keys. There are also reefs in the Hawaiian Island, the West Indies, and the Bahama Islands. The Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia is more than 1,200 miles long. Altogether, coral reefs occupy more than 70 million square miles of ocean, enough space to put approximately 20 countries the size of the United States. That's huge. Coral polyps, miniature invertebrates whose hard outer coverings from coral reefs are coral polyps. When a wandering coral larva, or immature form, settles down on a firm surface rock, such as a rock, sunken ship or reef, the larva soon develops into a polyp. This creature is like a tiny column with one end anchored on the stable object and the other end fringed with many delicate tentacles. The polyp waves its tentacles in the water to catch plankton and small fish. So what it'll do is, if this is a rock right here, it's going to attach itself and move around like that as the water moves it, and it's going to try to catch the plankton, try to catch its food, whatever it's eating. And kind of like a net. They use like a net. Okay, and so let's keep reading. The polyp waves its tentacles in the water to catch plankton and small fish and draw them to its mouth. Algae living in the polyp's tissue help it to secrete the material which forms its external skeleton. The skeleton is like a little cup which surrounds the polyp and into which it can shrink when threatened. Although some coral polyps live as isolated individuals, most live in large colonies and form reefs. All reefs do not look alike because there are more than how many? How many?
650.
650 kinds of skeletons. Oh, that's my place. Skeleton forming coral. Some corals are bumpy and knobby, while others like the branching corals look like petrified underwater trees. One kind of coral looks like a brain. The Red Sea has corals so beautiful that women use them for jewelry. Not all corals make hard skeletons. Soft corals have rubbery coverings, which usually spread out in many directions. These are the most colorful corals. Let's look at some of the fish that live in coral reefs. Okay, within the many pockets and caves of the coral reefs lurk some of the most beautiful and interesting creatures of the sea. Some of the fish found there make sleeping bags for themselves. Others swell up bigger than basketballs when they are frightened. The coral reef fish use color as a means of camouflage. Some of the poisonous fish use their brilliant colors as a warning. Like mammals, fish are vertebrates, or animals with backbones. Unlike mammals, fish breathe air dissolved in water. All right, by means of specially designed structures called gills. The colorful parrotfish gets its name from its teeth, which are fused, joined together to form a break. strong enough to bite a fish hook in two. The parrotfish uses its beak to get its food, the algae growing on the coral, on the coral reef. In the process of eating, the fish often has to take a bite out of the coral reef itself. The crunch sound made by feeding parrotfish can be heard for great distances underwater. Parrotfish eat during the day and sleep at night. Some kinds make transparent sleeping bags around their bodies to protect themselves from the predators that would like to eat them. When the porcupine fish is undisturbed, its spines lie flat against its body. But when it feels threatened, the porcupine fish puffs itself up with water so that its spines stick out, making it difficult for a predator to swallow it. A 12-inch long porcupine fish can swell up larger than a basketball. Okay, who's ever seen Finding Nemo? Finding Nemo.
Hi.
Do you know the part where
I have looked.
there's that one fish that goes and blows up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I already know what it's about.
On the top right, this one right here? That's that fish right there.
Oh, yeah, but
That's-
I didn't see it, but I already know.
Who left the class?
Emilia.
Emilia.
Mine. Okay, small, colorful wrasses can swim into the mouths of larger fish without being eaten. Wrasses help the larger fish by cleaning their bodies of troublesome parasites or harmful plants or animals that live in or on fish. While the large fish are getting rid of annoying pests, the wrasses are getting something to eat. Blennies, or cleaner mimics, look and act like wrasses. However, instead of cleaning a large fish, a blenny will take a bite out of it. So there's two types of fish, a blenny and a wrasse. A wrasse is a type of fish that swims in and out of the mouth of the other bigger fishes and will eat parasites and little things that are bad. But then there's a blenny who does the same thing, but takes a bite out of the fish, so it's eating the fish. Would you want that? Every time you opened up your mouth, a little bug would go inside your mouth and start cleaning it for you. Or you can have one that'll go inside your mouth and start eating you.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Okay.
Okay. Although the vicious looking moray eel looks like a snake, it is actually a special kind of fish. The moray lives in small caves and crevices in the coral reef, where it waits for an unsuspecting fish to swim by and become its dinner. Morays do not chase men, but they will bite if they are threatened. Sometimes a diver searching for interesting reef animals takes hold of a moray by mistake and finds his hand badly cut up by the eel's sharp teeth. Now let's look at the seahorse. The seahorse is a fascinating fish whose body is encased in bony rings or plates. The seahorse, from 2 to 8 inches long, swims upright and can hold itself in place by grasping the coral reef with its tail. Unlike most other fish, the male seahorse has a pouch to carry the eggs deposited there by the female seahorse. As many as 400 miniature seahorses will hatch 6 to 10 days after the eggs are laid. Most of the fish found on the reef are beautiful and harmless, but a few fish are very poisonous. The lionfish, one of the most beautiful fish found in tropical waters, has poison so strong that it is effective even after the lionfish is dead. The most poisonous fish in the world is the stonefish, which looks like a stone as it rests on the ocean floor. If a diver accidentally stepped on a stonefish, the poison from the spikes on the top of the fish's body could kill him within 2 hours if he were not treated properly. All right, we have a couple minutes. Let's look at some photos of these guys. Why is it?
Mr. You was in the video now.
No, I'm not gonna put the video now.
When we finish.
Oh my gosh, we're doing this. When we finish, yeah. All right, so we have what's called a stonefish. And that is
Mr. In comprehension 5.5, we need to do the animal that us want, or because here do not say, here say that name the animal that best fits each clue.
Yeah, so you're gonna reread and look at each animal. For example, it says it cleans parasites from bodies of fish. Remember? I talked about the word.
Mister, we are going to do 5.6.
Yes, 5.4 to 5.6. Okay, look at this fish
And
right here.
5 point, Mister, we need to do 3 comprehension checks.
Yes.
I send it the next day to you because there's the homework that would they leave us
That works.
not.
Okay, look, this is the stonefish right here. Does it look like fish? It looks like rocks.
Yes.
But if you step on it, it could kill you. And then we'll look at
Fast.
a lionfish. These are very beautiful.
Mister, so we need to do comprehension check. So
Yes, bud. So my brother had a couple of these as pets. And I think it stung him one time.
Mister, I
Yeah.
don't understand in 5.5.
I'll explain it to you before we go, okay?
That one.
Right. These are seahorses. I think seahorses are cool. That's a,
They have one in the hand.
these ones are here.
They're so little.
Yeah. They eat.
They're tiny.
What?
They eat.
They're tiny.
I.
No.
Okay, let's finish this. I want you guys to read. Okay? Who wants to start reading some seafaring mammals?
Me.
5.6.
Who is me?
Me, Mr. Monse.
Okay, Monse, go. Go away, cat.
They look like fish and they swim like fish, but they are not fish. They are whales and part of a large group of mammals. They live in the sea. Actually, there are a big difference between the way of a whale. Swim and the way a fish swims. A fish move its tail from side to side, whereas a whale swims by moving its tail and down. There are another important difference between whales and fish too, because whales have the characteristic of the mammals. Do you remember what the characteristics are? A fish takes oxygen from the water through its gills, but a whale has lungs as a mammal do. Therefore, a whale must hold its breath when it dives as a whale returns to the surface of the breath. Its pulse. The whale applies the stale air through its nostril, or blow whale, sending a fountain of spray into the air. Second, baby whales are the underwater and take milk from their mothers, where fish hatch from eggs and do not take milk. Third, fish and cold-blooded, but whales are warm-blooded. Finally, most fish have scales, whereas whales have skin that is smooth and rubbery. Unlike other mammals, however, whales do not have hair to keep them warm. Instead, the babies are warped in the thick layer of fat, a blooder under the skin. Blooder helps keep them warm even in the cool water.
Very good. So,
Well,
are these fish or are they mammals?
they're mammals.
They are mammals, okay? So let's look at some of the characteristics. They have, a fish takes oxygen through water, from the water through its gills, but a whale has lungs, and so they have to breathe. And so it shoots out water from its spout and it breathes air again in the blowhole. Baby whales are born underwater and take milk from their mothers, so they eat milk. Fish are cold-blooded, but whales are warm-blooded. Are we warm-blooded or are we cold-blooded?
Warm.
We are warm-blooded. We are warm-blooded. And so, yeah. Let me finish this for you, and then I'll let somebody else read. Whales are well suited for life in the sea because they can stay in the water all of their lives. You remember that what kind of whale is the largest mammal that has ever lived? Dolphins and porpoises, which are classified as whales, and manatees also spend their entire lives in the water. The other ocean mammals you will study in this chapter have to spend part of their life on land. So these are the mammals that live in the water. The other ones live on land. Okay, pinniped. Who's going to start reading pinniped for me?
Hi.
Go for it, Giancarlos.
Pinniped. The current road gauge the world. Oceans are the pinnipeds or wing-footed animals. Can you guess which animal the pinnipeds are? If you say walrus and seals, you were right. They're pinnipeds. Look a little bit like wings. Pinnipeds are mammals that live in the sea, but how out on to land or ice to give birth to their pups. Pinnipeds are carnivores, eating mollusks, crustaceans, fish, and sometimes even other pinnipeds. They have a smooth, tapered bodies with a layer of blubber under their skin.
Very good. So pinnipeds are the like walruses that walk on or seals that walk on land like that.
What's that, Mr.
They're
Pinnipes?
carnivores.
It's just the name. It's like saying canine. Okay. There's dogs. There's foxes. There's wolves. They're all part of the same thing, but they're just known as canine. So this is pinniped. So there's walruses and seals and stuff like that, and those are what pinnipeds are. They mean wing-footed. So their foot kind of looks like this right here. You see it?
Yes.
Like that. And so they walk like that. Walruses. Who's gonna read walruses?
Me?
I want someone who hasn't read yet.
Thunder. You need to read it. Thunder.
No, if you don't want, then Carlos.
All right.
All right, Sandra, you're gonna read walruses.
What?
Read walruses.
Walruses. Walruses live near the North Pole in Arctic Ocean. They are large animals, very over 10 with long, furry, white nose and a long tail. They have thick, willy skin. On land, a walrus can prop itself up on his front flippers and turn the back flippers forward to walk. Walruses are socially animals. They like to lumber ashore and lie down in the large group on top of other walrus if they cannot find a place on the ice. As they lay in the sun, their skins turn pink, what could be before entering them a pile of frozen bloody walrus. The walrus tucks a pair of long tails which they uses. If a walrus swimming on the ice and wishes to come up from air, he can use his tongue to dig through the ice. As he climbs out of the water onto the ice, he tucks like a fifth leg to help him walk. Dogs also help walrus recognize each individual importance in the group. The largest male with the longest tongue will probably become the leader of the walrus herd. If two males with equally long tongues meet, they may fight. The attacks become an effective weapon.
Go ahead and finish that last section. Yeah.
Mollusks
Mollusks are the favorite food of walruses.
are the favorite food of walrus, which use their snow covered by soft skin on super edge to give up clams or mussels. If mollusks are buried in a good deal of mud, they would squirt a stream of water out of it. Mud to underneath is spray from the ocean bottom.
Very good. All right. Lizzie, will you read seals for me?
Yes. Seals. Seals can be divided into two groups. Ear-red seals with a small outer ears and true seals with not outer ears. Eared seals include fur seals and sea lions. The elephant seals, which belong to the true seals group, is the largest of all pinnipeds. Male elephant seals can be 16 feet long and weigh more than 500 pounds. A large flap of skin then that dangles from the male elephant seals. The snout looks a little. I continue.
Yeah, finish that.
Like the walrus, the earth seals can use its flippers to sit up and walk on land, but the true seal is better at it on land. Its all small stubby flippers are of no use for walking. The true seals can only lie flat and hum along on its stomach, looking something like a person fastened inside a sleeping bag. In the sea, however, the true seals streamline shape make it fast and graceful. Seals are found in many places in Europe, mostly in fall or temperature.
Very good. Mostly in cool or temperate water. So we had the walruses who have the long tusks, and they'll fight if there's another male walrus. And then seals, which was ear seals and true seals, that they walk. They're kind of funny to walk on land, but they are really good swimmers. Let's do this. I'll read this last one, and then I will show you a video of a seal. I don't know if you've seen it before. We'll see if you've seen it.
Mister, then you help me to understand the things, please.
I will. One of the most captivating residents of the ocean is the sea otter. The small carnivore, rarely over 85 pounds, is known for the beauty of its lustrous dark fur and for the ease and grace with which it swims. Sea otters spend most of their time in the ocean, but they come on land to sleep. Although in the summer, they may prefer to sleep in the water on large clumps of seaweed. A mother sea otter will often roll on her back in the water and cradle her pup on her chest. As she drifts on the waves, the mother may play with her baby by throwing it into the air and then catching it. Sea otters are found in the North Pacific along the coasts of Asia, Russia, and America. The sea otter's intelligence makes it an effective predator. It is one of the few animals to solve the puzzle of how to eat the prickly sea urchin. Diving down to the bottom, a sea otter will gather several urchins in its front paws. Then, relaxing on its back at the surface, it cracks the sea urchin apart as a person would crack a nut. To crack open mollusks, the sea otter assumes its favorite position on its back, puts a small rock on its chest, and knocks the shells against the rock until they crack. Only a few animals are smart enough to use a tool the way a sea otter does. Okay, sea otters are one of my favorites. I think they're really cool. They're really, really smart too. But this is a video of a seal. They're funny too. They make funny sounds and do funny things. One sec.